Hello guys, guten Tag! Today I'm reacting to another video by Feli from Germany. This one is quite recent, it was just uploaded a couple of weeks ago. 15 major brands you didn't know were from Germany. I might surprise you, I might not, probably I will not. So yeah, let's check this one out. Come on, and go and check out our channel as well. This one, Feli from Germany.
These are all brands that you definitely know, maybe even use or consume on the daily, but I bet that most of you had no idea that these brands are actually from Germany. Hallo, Servus, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Feli. I'm originally from Munich, Germany, but I've been living here in Cincinnati, Ohio since 2016. And even here on the other side of the Atlantic, I come across German brands and companies pretty much every day. Some of those are more obvious, such as car brands like BMW, Mercedes, Volkswagen, or Porsche. I think most people very much know that those are German, right?
Yeah, they should definitely show this one to Donald Trump if he's not still raising the FIFA Cup with the Chelsea players.
Then there are some brands, or businesses in this case, where I think it's slowly becoming more known that they're German, such as the grocery stores Aldi or Lidl. I even have a whole video about how the American Aldi compares to the German one. Definitely check that out if you're interested.
But I never understood, like, Lidl, is it combined German and Italian? Because I don't know, they always have so much Italian stuff in Lidl. Everywhere I've been in Europe, there's so much stuff that is Italian, so I don't know. I mean, probably it's just German, but they have lots of stuff that are Italians. I don't know. I mean, the other ones like Aldi and Penny, they don't have as much Italian stuff as Lidl, at least in the places I've been abroad.
But for some brands, I think most people would never guess that they're from Germany. But that's why I'm here to fill you in. And some of these even shocked me, like especially for number 15. My whole life, I had no idea that this was German. The first one is a meal kit service that I'm sure many of you have tried before, but even if you haven't, you've definitely come across it in an ad before. I've even collaborated with them a few times, so you may have seen them on my channel even. Of course, I'm talking about HelloFresh. In the last few years, this company has been...
Yeah, I've seen that before, but I don't know, I mean... I'm too broke to afford this.
Everywhere, it feels like, both here in the US and in Germany, but they also operate in Canada, Australia, the UK, France, Sweden, and several other countries. And especially with that English name, who would have thought that the company was founded in good old Germany, in Berlin to be exact, in the year 2011. If you knew that, please let me know in the comments below. But I had no idea until I researched them for my first collaboration with them a couple years ago. And the same goes for this next company. If you've seen my videos, you may actually know that they're German because I have mentioned it before. I'm talking about one of the biggest language learning apps in the world. Not the one with the owl, the other one. Babbel, or Babbel as it's pronounced in the original German, because this company was also founded in Berlin, Germany in 2007. Originally, they were just an online language learning website. Nowadays, most people, of course, use it as an app on their smartphone. To this day, Babbel is headquartered in Berlin, but they do also have a US location in New York. One of my favorite ways to learn a language is watching TV, by the way, because it's something that most of us do anyways, and switching to a different language might feel like a big obstacle at first, but with the Lingopie captions and tools, and especially when you already know the characters and the storyline, you honestly get into it so...
Go and check out her link to support her, guys. I'm gonna skip the... Yeah. Okay, let's see number 3.
Germany, and it's huge here in the US. Two of my favorite American actors even advertise for them.
I've got home internet from T-Mobile. It only costs $50 at T-Mobile.
Of course, we're talking about T-Mobile, as it's pronounced here in the US.
Yeah, we don't have that in Italy, actually.
In Germany, the UK, and I think most other countries, it's usually pronounced T-Mobile. When I first moved here in 2016, my very first cell phone plan was with T-Mobile, and it took me a while to get used to the new pronunciation because in my mind, I was already pronouncing it the English way, but I guess not the American way. It's always belonged to the telecommunication company Deutsche Telekom, which is partially state-owned and used to have a monopoly on landline.
Is it the same, Deutsche Telekom, is it the same as Telecom Italia? There are so many countries that have telecom. Are they related? I don't know anything about this type of...
phone services, and at the beginning on internet in Germany. T-Mobile used to be their subsidiary for cell phone service, but since 2010, the company has moved everything back under one roof, which is why the cell phone provider in Germany is now simply called Telekom. But you can clearly tell that they belong to the same company. Even the logos are pretty much the same still. In the US, Deutsche Telekom actually purchased an American wireless company called VoiceStream in 2001 and renamed it to T-Mobile. And here it does still carry that name to this day and is the second biggest cell phone provider after Verizon here. Okay, this next one is on the list because I think most people have no idea that this brand is German, but I feel like you guys probably do know if you've seen my videos about the pronunciation of this brand. I'm talking about Adidas, as we say in German, or Adidas, as Americans say. Needless to say, it's one of the biggest sports brands.
I don't remember who I was talking to. I think it was in a video call when I was practicing some other languages or whatever. And there was this person that spoke English as his or her, I don't remember, first language. And she was like, oh, I'm wearing Adidas. And I was like, what is that? And then send me the text message writing the name of the brand, Adidas. And I was like, bro, that's Adidas. Why are you saying Adidas? And then I went and researched. Pretty much everyone was calling it Adidas. Sounded so weird to me. I feel like most countries in Europe pronounce this as Adidas. Adidas sounds very, I don't know. Yeah, sounds like a native English speaker that they put the stress on the first letter. I don't know, it sounds just weird.
In the world, but most people don't know that it was founded in 1920s Germany by the brothers Adolf and Rudolf Dassler in Herzogenaurach, close to Nürnberg.
Video.
Well, at the time, their business was called Gebrüder Dassler Schuhfabrik, and they made custom sports shoes for athletes, particularly soccer players and runners. They had started to integrate the brand new concept of spikes to their shoes, which was pretty revolutionary at the time.
Wow.
And in 1928, their shoes were
so it's kind of like nowadays with football shoes, but football shoes actually have the little spikes even behind. Wow. Interesting.
Their shoes, which was pretty revolutionary at the time. And in 1928, their shoes were even used in the Olympics for the first time. Now, one thing about German history is that almost all of the German companies that managed to survive the Third Reich and World War II had some affiliation with the Nazis, whether it was voluntarily or out of necessity. So it's not.
Of course, we always tend to think, oh, that was bad, so people back then, they were like super bad or whatever. But I mean, it's the same thing, like 50 years from now, they will be talking about us saying, what the fuck, how did they put up with that? How did they put up with Donald Trump, probably? I don't know. God knows what he's gonna do in this world. So, yeah, I mean, it's so stupid. The way most people make history too simple, you know, they simplify it way too much. The only one that can do that is the YouTube channel, Oversimplified, by the way.
Surprising that both of the Dassler brothers were members of the NSDAP, the Nazi party, and they even joined the National Socialist Motor Corps, which was a paramilitary organization. Additionally, Adolf was an official in the Hitler Youth. So probably was it a coincidence that they ended up having the nation's only operating shoe factory during the war and mainly produced sports and specialty shoes for the Wehrmacht. Now, the brothers had some disagreements before the war too, but after the war is when they eventually decided to part ways for good. And that's when Adolf, whose nickname was Adi, founded Adidas, which is actually an acronym of his first and last name.
Okay.
Adi Dassler.
I mean, of course, you couldn't have called it Adolf Das. I mean, what the hell? Hitler really ruined that name for everyone. He definitely did ruin that name for everyone.
Became Adidas. He ended
Like
up
in Italy, I feel like it would be pretty much impossible to have a child and name it Benito. I mean, it's still pretty popular in Spanish-speaking countries, but in Italy, bro, come on. I don't even think that's allowed. I mean, I should make a reason.
Screw-on spikes, which were a game changer for soccer players at the time, and his shoes were even used by the German national team. But Rudi also founded his own company under the name Ruda, also based on his name, but he later changed the name to Puma, which is actually number 5 on my list because I feel like this is even more unknown than Adidas.
Yeah.
Both of these companies became the biggest sports shoe and
I love Puma, and come on, look at the logo. The Adidas logo, yeah, it's iconic, whatever, but it's just three, I don't know what's this shape, 3 rectangulars, I don't know, whatever. It's okay, but the Puma one, bro, oh my god, so cool. This is the coolest logo ever.
Clothing manufacturers in Germany and some of the biggest worldwide. Also, fun fact, this isn't the only story of 2 German brothers running a business together and then parting ways over a disagreement. The same thing happened to the Aldi brothers, who, as a result, split their family business into Aldi Nord and Aldi Süd, so North and South. And to this day, the country of Germany is divided by the Aldi equator, so you won't find any Aldi North in the southern part of the country and vice versa. If you want to know more about all of that, be sure to check out this video. Okay, now I always thought that it was well known that this brand was German until I found out that a lot of Americans apparently believe that it's Japanese. I'm talking about Haribo. Yes, the gummy bears. I don't know, maybe people
What? I thought that was just common knowledge that everyone knows that Haribo is from Germany.
I think it's Japanese because the name kind of sounds like it could be a Japanese word.
Yeah,
Haribo.
but
In reality, though, this is yet another acronym, and it stands for Hans Riegel from Bonn, the founder of Haribo. Bonn is a city close to Düsseldorf and Cologne and actually used to be Germany's capital
Bonn is the city where Einstein was born, right?
for a while. The company is best known for their
Am I saying something stupid? I probably am.
bear-shaped gummy candies, Gummibärchen as we call them in German, for licorice candy,
Gummibärchen.
and in the 80s they also bought Mauam, which is this
Bro, the licorice from the Haribo is always the best. I used to like even more the... Wait.
for licorice candy.
Yeah, the roll was okay, but I like more the ones that... Wait. Can't find it right here. Let me just research the liquids. Okay, let me show you. My favorite is definitely this one. Oh my god, yes! Especially the pink one. I never understood if it actually changes. I don't know. I guess it's just in your mind that you think it changes. I don't know, but I guess this one maybe it's a little bit strawberry. This one is lemon. This one is like banana. I'm not too sure. Let me know in the comments if you know. Actually, this one I think I've never seen it. No idea. Yeah, sure. I'm okay with this one too, but oh, it's called Cocobat. Cocobat. Yeah, this one's are my favorites. When I was a kid, I could eat even the whole package by myself. So yeah, my parents didn't really wanted to buy it for me. I don't think too much licorice is any good. So yeah, let's continue.
And in the 80s, they also bought Mauam, which is this really chewy...
Oh, I remember that! I remember that! But I think we have we had a different name in Italy for it. Oh my god, I used to love this so much.
fruit-flavored candy. I was never the biggest fan. And I honestly
No,
don't
I
know if that's a
loved
thing
it.
here in the US. Let me know in the comments if you guys know Mauam here. Next up, we have a brand that you guys might have in your bathrooms, and that is Nivea. Or in the US, I think most people...
Bro, I always thought that Nivea was Italian. Because we have so many, it's like one of the most popular brands and one of the cheapest one for like beauty. Is that how you say it? Like cosmetics type of stuff. I always thought that was Italian. I learned that Nivea was German, I think from another one of her videos, if I'm not mistaken. That came as a shock to me. I don't know, for some reason I was so sure. I mean, even the name sounds very Italian. I mean, I think it's a Latin or Greek name. Yeah.
Say Nivea. Nivea was first introduced in the year
Nivea,
1911 and belongs to the Hamburg-based company Beiersdorf, who also owns Eucerin, Hansaplast, or Labello, among other brands.
Oh, even Labello is German, bro. What? I have the same Band-Aid in my closet, by the way.
Their most iconic product is probably this simple Nivea cream, which is an
Everyone
all-round
has it.
facial and body moisturizer, but they really make all kinds of personal care products nowadays. This is a brand that I was actually very surprised to see here in the US because in my mind, it was always connected to the German Postal Service, and that brand is
UPS.
DHL.
Oh,
DHL actually has their main US hub right here at the Cincinnati airport. Now, the story of DHL is a little more complicated though, because yes, they are headquartered in Germany, in Bonn to be exact, but DHL as a company was originally founded in San Francisco in 1969. But in the late 90s and early 2000s, the German Postal Service, Deutsche Post, actually bought more and more shares of DHL until they had full ownership. That's also why in 2002, the DHL logo was changed so that it represented the typical yellow brand color of the Deutsche Post. So today, DHL is a division of the Deutsche Post AG, but it still operates here in the US too, and all over the world really. In fact, it's one of the largest logistic companies worldwide. Okay, this is another one of those brands where I always thought it was clear and well known that this company is German, but when I came to the US, I found out that that's not necessarily the case. Maybe that also has to do with how their reputation kind of changed over the last 20 years or so, because the brand I'm talking about is Birkenstock, or in German, Birkenstock, which for me growing up was quite literally the epitome of uncool German sandals. Like the German stereotype of socks and sandals, that's this. They were also very popular to use as house shoes, which is a very common thing in Germany. And they were just always known for being comfortable, good for your feet because of the supportive footbed, and for being very high quality and durable. But they were never considered fashionable or cool in that sense. But somehow the brand has managed to turn that around, and today Birkenstocks have become this international fashion staple. So to whoever is responsible for that, good job. In 2023, the company even became publicly traded. Originally, it was founded all the way back in the late 1800s by Konrad Birkenstock, who came from a long line of shoemakers. And even though the family sold the company to a private equity firm in 2021, their headquarters still are in the German state of Rhineland-Pfalz, so Rhineland-Palatinate to this day. Let's stick with fashion for a moment, because the next brand on the list is Hugo Boss, which sells clothing, accessories.
Bro, what? I always thought this one was French. I always thought Hugo Boss was French. Actually, whenever they make an advertisement for Hugo Boss on the TV, they're always saying Hugo Boss. Sounds very French the way they say it. I'm not doing the best. I'm not doing the best accent, but yeah, I always thought it was just French. Wow, this video is so surprising. Let me know in the comments if you got any surprises from this video.
And colognes, among other things. It was founded, surprise, by a guy named Hugo Ferdinand Boss in the 1920s in Metzingen, which is in the state of Baden-Württemberg. After the stock market crash of 1929, the business was struggling, but during the Third Reich, Boss joined the Nazi Party and produced brown shirts, as well as uniforms for the Wehrmacht and the SS. And just like many other German companies who survived this time, they used forced labor during this period and thereby directly benefited from the Nazi regime and managed to survive the war. After the war, the company eventually focused on ready-made men's suits, which is probably what they're most famous for to this day. If you've ever taken aspirin, or in German we would say Aspirin, you've definitely come across this logo by the company Bayer. They were first founded in the year 1863 and are one of the biggest pharmaceutical companies in the world today, headquartered in Leverkusen, Germany. Fun fact, their name is also part of the soccer club Bayer 04 Leverkusen, because the team is
Oh, I didn't know that was associated.
It's actually a subsidiary company of Bayer. Not only did they invent aspirin in the late 1800s, but they also created the first widely used antibiotic called Prontosil. And in 1989, they trademarked their new cough suppressant, heroin, and marketed it as a
I don't remember when I watched this, but wow, that's crazy.
non-addictive alternative to morphine for over 10 years, which of course turned out not to be entirely the case. During the Third Reich, Bayer was actually heavily involved in using forced labor, and they even conducted medical experiments in concentration camps. Lovely. Now,
I mean, you know, of course this is all super bad, but we are looking down at them, what they have done before during the Third Reich. But come on, let's just face it. Whatever they're doing now, most companies, it's basically the same thing. Look at all the chocolate companies in the world. You're just financing, whenever you buy a piece of chocolate, you're basically financing child labor in West Africa. So at the end of the day, guys, what can you do? I mean, that's a win for capitalism. Unfortunately, this world is too fucked up.
I would assume that this one isn't a huge surprise because the German origin is literally in the name, but I feel like it's become such a household name that many people might not even think about it. So I'm here to tell you that the investment bank Deutsche Bank is German and headquartered in Frankfurt.
Bro, are you kidding me? Bro, oh my god. Bro, who wouldn't know that Deutsche Bank is from Germany? I mean, I don't know. I'm guessing many people that don't know that Deutsche is the name for Germany. But still.
Huge here in the US, which, as someone who wasn't very involved in the financial world when I first came here, was actually a surprise to me. But Americans usually call it Deutsche Bank or Deutscher Bank or something like that. In German, it would be Deutsche Bank, and it literally just translates to German bank. That's it. It was founded in Berlin in 1870, so before Germany was even a unified country, and today it's dual listed on both the Frankfurt Stock Exchange and the New York Stock Exchange. Let's move on to a more fun category, and that is beverages. The first one being...
Okay, wait. Okay. Let's try to guess it. Beverage. My god, I don't know actually. It's probably some type of beer, right? Maybe Polaner or I don't know.
In coffee. Now,
coffee.
personally don't drink coffee, but I'm sure most of you guys do.
Is it Nescafe? No, it can't be Nescafe.
And when you go to the store to get coffee filters, I'm sure you've come across these ones by Melitta.
No, I've never seen that.
Melitta. In Germany, Melitta also sells...
Oh, yes. This one. I did buy this one for make my coffee in the mocha, but a long time ago. I don't know. Later I'm going to the supermarket. I'm gonna check if they have it. I think so, yeah.
Coffee. I feel like I don't really see that here in the US, but I also don't usually go to the coffee aisle a lot, so I'm not an expert. But fact is, they're a major coffee brand, which was founded in 1908 by a woman named Melitta Benz. She actually invented the coffee filter that same year. This is what it looked like at first. And in the 1930s, she then changed its shape to the iconic cone shape with the added ribs and created filter paper that perfectly fits in there. The company is still located in Minden in North Rhine-Westphalia. Okay, this one is kind of in the gray zone because it's not technically a German-owned brand, but it was invented in Germany. Fanta, or Fanta. It all goes back to the year 1942 when Germany...
By the way, go and check out, I've reacted to a video showing Fanta during the Nazi regime. It was a pretty good video.
Ran out of Coca-Cola syrup due to the trade embargo that the US had established against the Nazi regime. So the CEO of Coca-Cola Germany, Max Kite, and their chief chemist, Wolfgang Schädelig, came up with a new drink that was mainly made from byproducts such as whey and apple pomace mixed with sugar beets and different concentrated fruit juices. And they called it Fanta as a reference to the German word Fantasie, so fantasy. Flavor-wise, it didn't really have a whole lot in common with with what Fanta tastes like today, but it kept the business running throughout the war. In 1943 alone, 3 million cases of Fanta were sold in Germany, even though apparently it oftentimes wasn't even bought as a beverage, but was used for cooking instead to add sweetness and flavor because sugar was severely rationed at the time. After the war, the Coca-Cola company regained full control over the German plant and the trademark to Fanta, but they actually decided to discontinue it in 1949. Until 1955, when a beverage company in Naples, Italy had the idea to create an orange-flavored drink, which was then bought again by Coca-Cola in 1960, and that's the origin of the Fanta flavor we all know today. Well, kind of, because almost every country actually has their own flavor of Fanta. And I'm not just talking about the difference of American soda being made with high fructose corn syrup, while in Europe they make it with sugar. Like, no, Fanta in the US tastes and looks completely different from Fanta in Germany. And then that one's different from the Fanta in Italy, and that one's different from the Fanta in Russia, and so on. In fact, there are over 200 different Fanta flavors worldwide. And last but not least, let's talk
I don't know, I was never such a fan of Fanta.
About a beverage that I personally
wasn't a fan.
Actually had no idea was German until like a year ago, and I'm still mind blown by it. Capri Sun, or more accurately, Capri Sonne. Growing up,
I have no idea what that is. Is that? I mean, there are so many of this type of stuff. No, actually, like this, I think I've never seen anything like this. Usually they come in the square box, you know, and then you stick the little straw in it and you drink it. But like this in the plastic, I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that here in Italy.
That was a super popular drink among kids, and like most people, I never even thought about where it came from. When I then saw it here in the US under the name Capri Sun, I just automatically thought, oh, it must be American, and when they expanded to Germany, they just translated the name from Capri Sun to the German Capri Sonne. Little did I know that it was actually the other way around in this case. Capri Sonne was actually invented in Heidelberg in 1969 by Rudolf Wild, who also produced
Heidelberg, is that the city where they produce the beer Heidelberg? I think so, right? I tried that beer, it was so good.
Libella, a fruit-flavored soft drink that was wildly popular in the 50s and 60s and still exists today. At the time, Capri Sonne stood out due to its revolutionary pouch design that made it really handy to drink on the go, and because the company made sure that it consisted of all natural ingredients. Which of course doesn't mean that it's not full of sugar. The drink quickly expanded to other countries, and in the late 70s, it also came to the US under the name Capri Sun. And the world-renowned boxer Muhammad Ali actually started advertising it. He would say that, just like himself, Capri Sun was the greatest of all time.
When you see these in your countries, in your stores, go buy it because it is the greatest like me of all time.
Now, unfortunately, it turns out that since 2017, the product isn't actually called Capri Sonne in Germany anymore. Supposedly, they wanted the brand to have a consistent name around the world, so even in Germany, it's called Capri Sun now. I think they should have just changed the name to Capri Sonne everywhere else. Okay, let me know in the comments which of these brands surprised you the most, and which of them you already knew were from Germany. Don't forget to check out LingoPie 7 days for free with the link in the info box below. If you're interested in this whole brand topic, and especially in how some of these brand names are correctly pronounced in German, be sure to check out this playlist right here. And as always, you can also watch or listen to this video on Spotify. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. And if you want to support me in my channel, you can do so by subscribing for free, giving this video a thumbs up, or with the super thanks function down below via Patreon or Ko-fi.com. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope I'll see you next time. Tschüss!
Was a very nice video. I mean, she only makes banger videos. Come on, this video was incredible. I didn't know about Puma. I'm still shocked about Puma, actually. Wow. Most of the other stuff I knew. I mean, most of them. The Nivea one, I discovered it a couple of years ago, but wow, that was super surprising as well. This was a very good video. So if you have any more recommendations for other very mind-blowing German videos so I can learn more about your history and your culture. Let me know which one should I check out in the comment section. Don't forget to subscribe, stay safe, see you soon.